Colleen? I think that's next.
I feel like they should, listening to Sports Talk Radio this week. But, yeah, guys, St. Nick,
Wentz is
he's
our
back.
franchise guy.
This team, if they stayed healthy, could contend for a playoff spot.
Just in time for Christmas, St. Nick back at the helm.
The capital of storylines and scripts. Nick Foles led the Eagles to a championship. Partner, it's Nick Foles back to the saddle again. Back, he's rolling, he's looking, he is going deep. And it is caught by Alshon Jeffery for a touchdown.
What a great catch by alshon.
Looking, firing, and it is caught. Touchdown, Zach Ertz.
If this is a dream, don't wake me up.
We might as well just give him another ring right now.
Another ring, another statue, all of that.
Nick Foles
Shrine,
and the
cathedral.
Eagles, they're still alive. They're the 7th seed, chasing that last wild card spot. They need a win today as they face the Texans, who can lock up a playoff spot as well today. They clinch the AFC South with a win. They clinch a bye with a win and a Patriots loss. And they secure a playoff berth with a Steelers loss as well. So a lot can go right for the Texans today. Let's head out to the link across the bridge from us here at NFL Films. And James Palmer is there. So what is it about Nick Foles that just lights up this team?
Yeah, Colleen, Michael Bennett wasn't even on this team last year, and he knows how good Nick Foles is. Talking to us earlier in the week, he said, this isn't Mark Sanchez coming in. This is Nick Foles, a guy who wins games. This is a guy who is a winner for us. And I talked to Pro Bowl guard Brandon Brooks this week, and he told me, Nick Foles wants to be a preacher after he retires from the NFL. In the same way a preacher can convey confidence and faith to a congregation, he kind of does that to the offense. He said when he threw his interception last week, he came up to us on the sideline saying, I make mistakes, but I'm good. I'm going to be fine. And that's kind of the way he handles himself. And that's his demeanor. But at the same time, in X's and O's, they've kind of simplified this offense in a sense, taken away some of the motions and the movement pre-snap. They think that's gotten this group playing a little faster, but it's also Nick Foles' demeanor that also spreads throughout this offense, Colleen.
It brings up everybody's play around him. Thank you so much, James. Great jacket, too, by the way. Got that Tom Brady look going on today. Like
Tom Brady's got that James Palmer look.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you later. If you guys missed this, Jeff McClain tweeting this out. It's Chris Long's locker this week, a shrine to Nick
I love
Foles.
my backup quarterback.
Oh, man.
Well, he's a
That's
starter
great.
now.
It's got to be weird in the locker room, but hey.
Yeah. He's really the backup. He's a starter now, but he's really back. And you know what James Palmer said there that, after something goes bad, Nick Foles, players are saying Nick Foles' demeanor is so good. My thing is, I'm just reading between the lines. What does that say, Carson Wentz?
Yeah. Does he overreact?
Does he overreact when
But
things
also,
go wrong?
Nick Foles is a very, very even keel guy. Like you might even say a little, he keeps himself. You don't really see a lot of
we don't, right? So
emotions from him.
So that would be obvious. Like, to me, for us to say that would be obvious, right? So that players are saying it means to me that Carson Wentz just doesn't react this way when things. Look, guys, I think the Philadelphia Eagles have a quarterback issue. I'm sorry. What if they win and go on to the playoffs with the backup quarterback? How can you? You're going to have to continue to say every single week that Carson Wentz is our franchise guy because you hear what's coming out of the locker room. Alshon Jeffery's more involved in this offense with Nick Foles behind the center.
160 catches last year, 160 yards last
week. Made a lot of money to Alshon Jeffery to catch the ball, and with Carson Wentz, he wasn't able to do that. Carson Wentz relied a lot on Zach Ertz. That's why he's going to break the tight end receiving record for receptions, and so. Alshon Jeffries is a guy you have to get the ball to, and Nick Foles has been. He did that last year during the playoff run. He's doing that now, man. Alshon Jeffries hadn't had a game like this all season, and this is who that guy is. He can take the top off your defense. He's a possession receiver. He can go across the middle. He can run every single route, and he's such a tough guy to cover. And as you see, Nick Foles loves throwing him the ball.
May I? So much to address here.
Please.
Yes, it is.
Take the floor, Garofalo.
That the Los Angeles Rams did things to take Zach Ertz out of the game this last week.
Right.
We did a breakdown earlier in the year. Remember the Titans game? It was Ertz. First half, they said, maybe we should cover this guy. They bracketed him, and all of a sudden the ball wasn't going to Zach Ertz. For some reason, Ertz was finding so much open space in defenses earlier this year. I do think that the one lesson that maybe Carson Wentz could take here is maybe I got to chuck it up to Alshon Jeffery, who's a big body receiver, sometimes when it looks like he's not open. Yeah. Because he is open, because I can do those types of things. But going back to the Foles demeanor things, it was a negative earlier this season when I heard, well, we came out of the gate and we were sluggish because, Nick's not that energizing type of guy. And when Carson comes back, he's going to energize us.
Yeah.
But it
now
was too
it's
much
like,
when Carson did.
well, Nick settled us back there. Which one's it going to be, Mike Rob? Somebody's got to make a decision
It's
on this
whatever's
one.
most convenient at that time.
Yes,
Right.
there you go,
That's what they
DeAngelo. Congratulations, you have cracked the code. This is still a Carson Wentz team. He is still a franchise quarterback. I don't know how many times I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a franchise quarterback, but my thing is this. How many times have we heard the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Saints or New England have to say that their guy is the franchise quarterback?
And it's the guys in that locker room you have to convince. It's not the guys in the front office. They know that Carson Wentz is the guy. But obviously the guys in the locker room.
I don't know. Looking at that shrine, I'm not sure.
The last
RG3
head coach we heard that continue to come out and say that their quarterback is a franchise quarterback.
John Harbaugh?
Was John Harbaugh with Joe Flacco. Look what happened with Flacco.
Very different.
Yeah.
Well, it was
I'm just saying it is
one
different, but
game.
I'm just saying, bro.
If Nick Foles plays the same way this week against the Texans, then yeah, this is a legitimate discussion. But it's one game out of like the entire season. He did play twice earlier in the year, and the results were not that great. So if he can do it again today, the team did look a little different, though. They had a little bit of
Don't go back. You had
magic going
it.
on.
In your hands.
I'm just saying, but one
You
game.
were like Antonio Gates and somebody punched the ball out.
I don't know how I feel. I'm conflicted about this. If the Eagles lose today and the Vikings beat the Lions, Minnesota would lock up a wild card spot. So this game in Detroit has huge implications for the NFC wild card picture. Let's head out to Ford Field and catch up with our Tom Pelissero. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Good morning, Colleen. Vikings receiver Adam Thielen told me he absolutely planned to watch that Redskins-Titans game yesterday. The Washington loss, as you said, now makes the Vikings' path to the playoffs even more clear. They are in with a win over the Lions today, plus an Eagles loss or tie against the Texans. Now, regardless, Thielen said it's a playoff mentality. The Vikings want to be the hot team going into January, and they took a step last week on offense, putting up a season-high 41 points against Miami in Kevin Stefanski's debut as the play caller. Lions, meanwhile, already eliminated. They've been ravaged by injuries. Still playing hard, but Vikings running back Dalvin Cook told me, I know if we jump on them early, we can take the fight from them. Let's go to Omar Ruiz in Seattle.
What might have been one of the great double play combos in baseball will instead be a quarterback matchup featuring two of the great improv artists in football. Pat Mahomes with his arm strength and Russell Wilson with his Houdini-like elusiveness, two of the best in the league at making plays on the move. Andy Reid saying this week that Mahomes learning how to use his mobility within the structure of the offense, something he gained from Michael Vick during last year in training camp. It's helped with his efficiency, something Wilson knows all about as much as the Seahawks like to run the football. Of that efficiency, 1 out of every 12 throws from Wilson this season has gone for a touchdown. The only player better, Mahomes. 1 of every 11 throws from him this season has gone for a score.
Thank you, Omar. Of course, Mahomes is going to have to deal with this Seahawks defense, and they always show up in prime time. Since 2012, nobody has allowed fewer points, yards, or red zone touchdowns. Also should know all 3 of the Chiefs' losses this year, they came in prime time.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just saying.
What you
this
saying?
game is prime time.
So who you pick?
I don't know. Connect the dots, maybe. We'll see. The Cowboys' last 2 games, they've looked like 2 completely different teams. The big question, though, today, which one shows up and who you got? Are Tom Brady and the Pats really going to take an L at home today?
I don't know.
Somebody at this desk